Today I'm going to be doing another training session. I'm going to first spend a few minutes to get my setup all figured out, so give me a break. Give me a few minutes. What I'm trying to do is use Figma to basically be able to connect to my iPad to basically take notes, draw diagrams, etc. But I haven't used my iPad in forever, so I'm taking some time to get that all worked out. In the meantime, I'll probably get started and solve some problems. I'm gonna pop into chat to see if anyone's here yet. Cool. Hey, Skier. Nice to see you in chat. Yeah, I'll get started in just a few minutes. Last time I streamed, I was just solving Codeforces Div 2 virtually. I might do something similar today. I haven't really decided yet. There was a request to do a topic stream. It's kind of like a lecture, I guess, which I'm considering, but I also might consider turning that into just like a YouTube video for my YouTube channel. Bad time for Europeans. I'm sorry. What would be the better time for Europeans? Perhaps like, let's see what time it is in Europe. Yeah, it's 3 a.m. in Europe right now, so maybe like 5 hours, 6 hours earlier would have been best. Yeah, thanks for that. Thanks for that feedback. Let's see what other times there are. Time in India. Time in. Well, I guess I know what time it is in the East Coast. It's 9 p.m. Yeah. I usually just stream around when it's most comfortable for me, because I usually have other things to do during the day. Though I'm trying to carve out a more consistent stream schedule, a more predictable one at least. I don't know what that's gonna look like, but that is a goal of mine, is to figure out a consistent schedule. Yeah, so today I'm gonna take it pretty chill. Maybe I can set up Streamlabs even, because that's something I've been meaning to do. I'll look into Streamlabs. This is a Twitch plugin, or some kind of Twitch related software. Yeah, this seems no reason not to try it out. See if I can get that set up. And maybe I'll also take this time to make a blog post asking if I'm going to stream, kind of what some topics would be best. Yeah, so I'm gonna make a post for the community, basically explaining that I want to start making instructive YouTube tutorials for various competitive programming topics. I've seen some nice videos from Ericto and Galen Collin, Second Thread, and some others, William Lin, where the videos are kind of like focused on a single topic. So I'm thinking maybe I should try that as well, because it seems like those are pretty well received generally. Maybe they're more instructive if you can focus on a single topic. So yeah. So, hey, viewers, if you're just joining, I'm actually writing a blog post right now because I intend to make some YouTube videos about programming. And I'm trying to decide on what topics to make first. So that's what my blog post is about. Skier, Stephen, could you explain your handle meaning? Yeah, sure. So Stephen K+, it's a pun. It's some wordplay on my friend 7K+. So there's a guy called 7K+, which is just, you take away the T from my name, you get 7K+. And yeah, we went to the same college, though we never competed on the same team, and I just thought it would be funny to mimic his name. You can see that our ratings have always been within like a couple hundred points, so we're, I guess, somewhat rivals in that sense, though. It's more just a funny coincidence. I wanted to name myself after him. Let's see, what other topics should I consider? Shortest path, dynamic programming. I guess this is probably like basic, yeah, I'll just call it basic dynamic programming. What other problems are there? I'll look at the tags. Number theory, I don't feel that comfortable with. And I do want to keep things pretty elementary. I think that will be most friendly to a wide audience. I guess basic data structures. Oh yeah, my bad. Let me fix my stream. Thanks for pointing that out. Basic data structures. One thing that's on my mind is that there are a ton of online resources out there already, maybe it'd be most productive for me to just use an existing resource and kind of do just a more detailed walkthrough of an existing guide. Just kind of something, so I don't have to create the content myself necessarily. I'll just be there to provide commentary and maybe in-depth explanation if I do this live. Combinatorics and probability, sure. Yeah. With my light so it's not too blinding. Yeah. Another video stream format I'm considering, which is taking an existing online resource, something usecode.guide, and doing video walkthroughs of various topics covered in the guide. My idea here is that I guess the idea here is that the internet has plenty of great resources already. Oftentimes the challenge is discovering and or parsing or understanding them. Rather than creating. Yeah, so the idea here is, like, I'm kind of lazy and I don't want to create new content if there's already existing content out there, especially since I don't necessarily think my lecture notes or whatever are going to be better. I don't think this is my area of expertise. Rather, I think where I could be helpful is in explaining existing guides. And I could probably help make them more easily digestible by by explaining them in detail in the video. Thoughts? Material, lecture material, which probably would be much lower quality than the existing guides out there anyway. Which of these topics would y'all be interested to learn about? Feel free to comment with any suggestions as well. Okay, cool. Alright, I don't need to mention why my motivation is this. And maybe IOStream? Preview? Oh, yeah, and greedy. Skier, yeah, definitely. So, I'll call this like basic problem solving principles. I guess like math. I don't even know how to classify things like greedy. I guess it's like reasoning, mathematical reasoning, greedy invariance. Like logic, greedy invariance. What did I cover in like data structures? Linked lists. Oh, maybe instead of basic linked data structures, it's like library, STL, and basic data structures. So, BBST. Is there anything else? So this would be library BBST, segtree. Segtree might even be a bit advanced here. I think library BBST is all you really need. So I call this, yeah, STL. Yeah, heaps is, you can implement a priority queue using a BBST, so you never really need heap. Alright, that'll be my post for now. Okay, maybe I should link to my Twitch so that people know who I am. How do I find that? So that's over here. So copy the link. Oh. What's going on? Copy this link. Huh, I don't know how to copy the link. But here it is. So link. YouTube channel, my YouTube channel. Where is my YouTube? Am I signed in? Oh, that would be embarrassing. I'll link to my YouTube channel. Okay. Cool. I'll preview once more. And then I'll probably get started with my my stream for today, where I try to solve problems. Alright, that's alright, that's my post. Because yeah, when will I start educational videos? I want to start soon, maybe within the next week. I've never done one before, which is why I'm kind of asking for advice here. I will probably spend some time watching some videos made by other streamers, just to get a feel for what it should look like. And yeah, I'm excited to try it out, because it seems like a great way to, I guess, just create content for the community. It seems like something people really like. So yeah, definitely excited to do that. But yeah, for now, I think I should start doing a contest. So I just have to pick one now. Actually, let's see if my iPad's set up. No, it's not going to be ready today, but maybe next time. Let's pick a contest to do, and then I'll try to do the same format as last time. I'll keep notes in a text file. I'll solve each problem kind of on paper before starting to code, and I'll try to, when I do implement it, do it all in one sitting. So set myself up to be able to like type continuously without having to pause and think. So what that entails is really thinking through all the details of implementation before I write a single line of code. I think that is, in my current understanding, a very effective way to avoid bugs and ensure kind of a concise and optimal structure of your code. It'll help you avoid having to go back in the middle of your implementation to delete things. It'll help you kind of like see the code all written out in your head before you type a single line. That's, in my eyes, the ideal way to solve problems. And yes, since this is a training session, I should do problems that are not too easy, but also not too hard. I think Div 2 is on the easy side, but seeing as my performance last time was not amazing, I'm comfortable with doing more Div 2s until I can start, I guess, really acing them. So I could choose to either do Div 2 here or the Div 1. I could also do an educational one. I think I want to do the educational one because I haven't done this round and it looks interesting. So yeah, let's register for this. Again, my goals will be roughly to place well while also being fast in typing. Okay. I'm going to set up my stream to show my code at the same time. So I'll make this a bit smaller. Then I'll add a screen. Where is that screen? Here we go. And hope that's big enough to be visible. So stream today is January 9th. Right, just like a markdown. And contest is educational Codeforces round 101. And what am I going to be doing? So goal, place in top. Oh wait, these are open to the public, right? Just take top 100 then. Top 50. Hey, Venkai. What's up? Nice to see you. and problem solving strategy, plan out implementation ahead of time, and try to write all the code in one sitting. Any details need to be scoped out ahead of time. Alright, so let's get started then. Problem A is regular bracket sequence. I'll go ahead and read the problem statement. You're given a string of length n, and they don't tell you the length ahead of time, so n is implicit in the string. And then you have exactly one open and exactly one closed paren. Everything else is a question mark. So what you have to do is replace all the question marks. You cannot reorder or do anything. The question asked is, can you obtain a regular bracket sequence after these replacements? Okay, so first of all, it has to be even. The length has to be even. Well, let's start writing our notes. I guess problem A is called regular bracket sequence. Give a string with exactly one of and this, and a bunch, I guess n-2 question marks. Can you turn it into balanced bracket sequence? And observation, n must be even, or else impossible. And that's because, I guess that's kind of trivial. And then let k equals n minus 2 over 2. So there are 2k question marks. Exactly k question marks will turn into this, and k turn into this, because the total number of left and right parentheses must be equal. And this will give us a solution now. So this is like, I'll label this the greedy simplification. If there is a solution, then turning the first k into and last k question marks into close will also be a solution. Proof, basically it's optimal to have before this the formulation of, like, the condition required for RBS only gets easier to satisfy when you swap into this. So yeah, this greedy simplification will help us solve this problem, because now we don't have to worry about all the possible ways of substituting question marks. We can only worry about one of them and check that in particular. Oh man, dark theme please. Oh, hey, yeah, I'm sorry, I don't usually use a dark theme when coding. But maybe I can try it. I don't think I mind too much, so how do I do that again? Theme. One sec, Vim theme. Color scheme, right? That's what it's called. So my current color scheme is peach puff. Let's change it to dark. Oh. Solarized dark. Okay, yeah, I don't know any of the dark theme names. I'm sorry. I am open to experimenting with a dark theme, but if it's not too bad, then maybe I'll stick with this for now. Anyway, I think I have a solution for problem A. Murphy is nice. Okay, I can try this. I don't mind. Is there also a Codeforces dark theme? Codeforces dark. Three weeks ago, no response from Mike. I can try a dark theme, because this is actually something I've thought about before. Like, it's nighttime, maybe a lot of people are like, you know, trying to minimize the amount of white on your screen, so I think it's reasonable. So yeah, maybe I can add this to my Chrome. Stylish. Find styles for the site. Close this thing. Codeforces. Yeah, I don't usually let myself get distracted in the middle of a contest, in case anyone was wondering. I'm doing this for you guys. I do have a goal of, you know, trying to place relatively well on this contest, like top 100. So I won't spend too much time on this, because this adds to my penalty on every single problem. It's not a great use of time. So if I can't get this to work, I'll just go back to coding. Yeah, did I get it? Still installing? How do I don't know how to install this. Yeah, I'll do this separately. I'll finish coding A first. Oh wait, it seems like it happened. It seems like it's working. It's just not working. It seems like it's a bit out of date, because of the, I guess, winter theme. It's kind of awkward. What is going on here? The background. There is a winter theme somewhere. It's in here? It's up here? Oh, I don't know. But yeah, it's this thing. Ah, there we go. Okay, so let me add this. I guess I want it to be background none. Transparent. Yeah, but something like this. Okay. Oh no, I just want it to be 222 important. Okay, just one sec, and then I'll be done. Installed. Dark reader. I'll look for dark reader as well. Dark reader. Collided scope. Have you used dark reader on Codeforces? Let's see what happens. I'll refresh. See if that fixes things. Okay, well, I really don't like the winter theme with the dark reader. It's like, it's kind of jarring. So I'm gonna disable that for now. But it does look like it would work without the winter theme. So I'll maybe after winter. To disable the winter theme, I think I need to use stylish, unless there's like an option in my settings. Here, I can do this. Codeforces dark, edit, body. I just have to add import here, and then refresh. Oh, I have to save. Is it saved? Save. Then refresh. No. Background. It is on. What was the thing I found? Cancel my virtual and restart it. Oh, but this is my own problem that I've been procrastinating on actually coding. So I don't think I'll do that. I'll just try to minimize distractions in the future. But anyway, I got dark mode set up. Let me know what you guys think of my dark mode. If this is easier to read, then I'll keep it. If not, we can go back. I'll say I'll try this for the next hour, just because I think it's fine right now. I think it's something I could get used to as well. But yeah, let's go back to implementation of A. Where we left off was we can compute the optimal string S, where we replace the first K question marks with an open bracket and a last K with a closed bracket, and then check if that string is balanced. If that string's not balanced, then we can't really help you. There's no way to balance that string. There are ways to further characterize those cases where it's impossible. For example, it's like anything where you start or end with a bad parentheses, but I could just code that. I'm tempted. So 2 ways. One more requires an additional observation. So 1, just compute S prime equals S with question marks replaced optimally. Then check if S prime is balanced. 2, this is option 1, option 2. Check if S0 is not this, and S-1 is not that. I'm going to go with option 2. If you didn't make that observation, option 1 is always a safe bet. Oh, and even. So yeah, option 2 is probably what I'm going to go with here because it's a bit easier to type. How do I do the split? Okay, so I have my code up here, notes down here. Is my face blocking stuff? Oh, my editor is too big. I mean, my Chrome was too big. So let's see, things are all visible now. I'll move my face back to the left. I'll scroll up a bit so things are all visible. I'll make my face a bit smaller. Maybe top right is a better spot for it. Top right, yeah, I think top right is good. Okay. And let's switch to, is there a way to do a timer in Vim? I don't know. I'll do online stopwatch. And I can put the timer in the bottom left, I guess. So, just a second. This is not the right window. Huh. I'm having trouble getting my online stopwatch to show up. Okay, there we go. So make that a bit bigger. Is there a way to crop this? And geez, I really don't know how to crop. I don't know how to crop this window here, so I might just leave it like that. Whatever. Keep the problem statement there. Move the stopwatch here. I can probably make the window a bit smaller so it takes up less space. And then we'll be good to go. So just resize this. Okay, sure. All right, we're all ready to get set. Read through my notes one more time. S0, S(n)-1, and is even. Okay, starting. Oh wait, I just need to check. S0 equals close, or S equals 1 is open, and it's equals no. And I think that's it. So let's submit that. This is also, close your eyes, slight theme. Test it. How do I change the theme? Color. Oh, pause my stopwatch. Accepted. That was around 1:15. So one sec. Time. I'll give myself 10 seconds back because I forgot to stop the watch. But that was good. We got our first problem solved of the day, so that's we're on a roll already. Let's continue with problem B. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to paste them in the chat. I am happy to, talk about anything in more detail. But until then, let's go on to problem B. So red and blue. I'm gonna read the problem. Monocarp. 2 colors, N red and blue. 2 sequences. Maximize the value of this thing. So all the prefix sums. Now you can just put all the positive ones next to each other in the front. Let's look at the sample output. Oh, I see. You can't reorder within a sequence. Okay, that changes things a bit, but not too much. Because I think what you do is you take the maximum prefix sum of each individual array and then add them together. So summarize as two sequences, merge them while preserving each sequence's relative order of each individual sequence elements. Maximize the max prefix sum of the result. Solution, or I'll call this observation because I'm pretty sure it's true. Well, take the max prefix sum of each individual sequence. We'll call it like mx1, mx2. Ants is, and some intuition for why this is true. Any prefix of merge sequence is merge pref of 1. Let's call this A plus B merged. Seq1 pref B seq2. In other words, a prefix of the merged sequence is I don't know really how to explain this without using symbols, but it's just like merged prefixes of the original sequences. So maximizing that is equivalent to maximizing the two prefixes independently. And independently here is a key solution idea. By separating out these two problems, it becomes much simpler. Fewer options to consider. There are like 2 to the n ways to merge, but now there's only O of n. Things to consider. So yeah, that's the solution idea. Simplify the problem statement using mathematical observations to characterize and isolate the parts of the problem that you actually care about. We only care about the sum of the prefix, and addition is commutative associative, in particular commutative here. And since it's commutative, it means we can, for any prefix of your merged array, kind of extract it, filter it into the blue prefix and the red prefix. And at that point, you're just trying to maximize the sum of the blue and the sum of the red. And in particular, like, you can go both directions with this. You can filter out any candidate merge sequence into its blue and red components, but you can also, given any blue prefix and red prefix, no matter what lengths they may be, you can construct a merged sequence such that those two appear together as like a prefix of the merged sequence. In particular, you can just take the blue prefix, the red prefix, concatenate the rest, and that's an example solution if you had to construct it. We don't need to construct it in this case, but it doesn't hurt to be kind of rigorous in our thinking and make sure that it is actually a one-to-one mapping that we've done here. The reduction needs to be bijective to be valid. Okay, so that's the intuition for the proof. Let's write out the implementation implementation plan. We have mx1 and mx2 equals 0. And actually, let's write we'll have a function, helper function, get max prefix. And implementing this function, like, I normally wouldn't write out the details because I feel like this is code I've written before. So I'll just write don't need long here. Because n is less than 100, numbers are between -100 and 100, we're okay. And initialize max to 0 because empty prefix is allowed. This is important. Sometimes you need to initialize to -infinity, not in this case. We're okay. And I think that's all I'm going to write for my plan. I think that's enough to go off of here. Reading through the input format again to make sure I understand it. It seems pretty simple. We have n and then a vector n, m, vector m, and that's the test case. And making sure my algorithm works. Yep, pretty sure it does. This guy's, wait, does it work? What's going on here? Why does it say 0? Oh wait, I got it mixed up. This is 13 because we have 11 and 2. Yep, okay, algorithm works, time to code. So reset that, start it, clear this. Auto helper, max prefix, vector int v, and then we'll read in our vectors, and then have w. I'm not used to coding in dark mode, so that's why I'm struggling a bit here. Okay, and then int int equals get max prefix of v, let's get max prefix of w, print it out. There we go. And here, we'll call it res cur, res equals max res cur. We want to update cur first, return res. That's it. Submit. It's not going to work, but I need to submit it now just because I have to trust in my ability to code. And then I'll test it afterwards. Oh, seems like it's passing. Okay, so I'll stop that. I didn't compile and test. I don't really know why. It's just I had so much faith in my implementation abilities that I chose to blind submit. We were lucky in this case and it worked. Normally you should compile your code, so don't try this at home. Any retro notes, retrospective? Would have been nice if n, m were same line, saves some typing. But like this is a pretty minor point. I think we covered everything there was to cover before we started typing. That was the goal. Total time, again, this was probably around like 1:10. So about the same time as problem A. Great, moving on to problem C. We'll open up all of them. So building a fence, building a wall. N equals sections, doesn't look equal to me. Oh, so the ground is not flat, okay. That's kind of problematic if you're trying to build a fence. The first and last sections. What? How would you put it not on the ground? Whatever. So you're given n and k. So the only variation you have is this ground level or higher thing. Let's make sure I'm understanding the problem. So 6, 3 is nk, and you have 0, 0, 2, 5, 1. Those numbers seem pretty close together, so yeah, you can probably do it. The 2, 5 is like kind of dicey, so I assume in the first case you have to kind of shift up to be able to hit this. But yeah. 2, 3, 0, 2. Yeah, that's pretty close together. 3, 2. Ooh, 3, 0. This is. Oh no, the 2 is the biggest. The 2 is the impossible part. And the 3. 3 is too big. No, sorry. I misunderstood. This is the gap that's too big. Okay, so I think I understand basically what's going on here. One thing we can do is just iterate from left to right and maintain a range of possible, I guess, heights that we chose. And then keep taking, intersecting that range with the given height value. So that was kind of a garbled way to express my thoughts, so let me try again using my keyboard. So problem C is called building a fence. And the constraint is produce an array v n minus 1 such that the following conditions hold. Given array and so you have nk in an array, produce an array such that the following holds. Vi is between hi and hi plus k, not including hi plus k. Let me make sure I read that correctly. Yeah, not higher than k minus 1 above. And consecutive vi have to be touching, which means this is less than k. So what this means is solution idea, maintain a range. So I guess iterate over I from left to right, which means starting from 0. That should be intuitive. Maintain a range, we'll call it low, high, and this is half open interval, such that low less than or equal to I less than hi fully describes constraints on I. And then as long as there is always at least one choice, we're good. Cool. So, implementation notes. How do we maintain this range? Well, set low equals max of low hi, high equals min high hi plus k, and low equals, I guess low minus equals k minus 1, high plus equals k minus 1, to handle the going to the next thing. So this is enter I, exit I, and init 0, low equals is there any constraint? Let's just say low equals 0, high equals like infinity, I guess, which is 10 to the 8. And I think that's everything. Let's run through the example in our heads. So the third example, it's between 3 and 5. In particular, that's either 3 or 4. Oh, no. That's not quite right, because you have to special case the first and last. Special case. Enter 0, high equals low plus 1. And enter n minus 1. So yeah, we have to special case, enter, sorry, not even this, right? It's just high equals I plus 1. And I think that handles everything we need to handle. And test non-empty. So we're saying if low is greater than or equal to high, then we're screwed, answer goes no. So yeah, I think that's everything we needed to run through. Let's start coding. Do I have the gall to just submit this? I mean, it worked last time, so I figured we should try it again, just see how long we can keep up this streak. I'll pause the clock, just optimistically. Or, it was around 105. I'll just remember that. Compilation error, oh. H, I forgot to do that, didn't I? I'll change this name to H. Oopsie. Try it again, and then I'll test it. Wrong answer on test 2. Oh, that's tragic. That's absolutely tragic. It's because I need long longs. Yeah, I should have done this. That means I don't need long longs anymore. Would they have long longs on test 2? No, I don't think so. So I probably have something else wrong. Hey, CSK. Welcome to the stream. NRJKLK, isn't this DP? Well, I'm trying to solve it without DP by representing the state of possible values as I sweep through, which seems like it should work. Let me submit it. I'm gonna get wrong answer on test 2 again. Wrong answer on test 2. Okay, let's take a breather. Road to LGM. Yeah, Road to LGM is the name of my stream. It's because I'm gonna be an LGM one day, and what you're watching is the process by which I get there. So that's why I call it the road. So yeah, I need to debug my code, or my thought process, or both. My infinity is 1 billion. Each value is up to 10 to the 8. Yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I thought this code was good. I thought this code was fine. CSK, am I from the UK? No, I grew up in America. Let's reread the problem. Common sign length, at least 1. That corresponds to this k-1 thing, right? Or this equivalently. First and last must be exactly where they started. But they cannot be higher than k-1 above. So that's k possible values. It should be an integer, yeah. Thanks for the stream. Yeah, no problem. Happy to stream. One goal of mine in 2020 is to stream a lot more. So, glad you like it. I'm having fun too. Except for this bug. I can't tell what it is. So I'm intersecting my previous range with my new range, or with the range dictated by fence I. This should work. Why doesn't it work? This is not helping my solve time at all. I'm thoroughly stumped. NRJKIK, what is line 55 through 59 doing? These lines. So line 55 is checking if there are no possible values. So this is here, non-empty. Basically, if there's no more choices for the current I for where to build the fence, that means it's impossible to build this fence. So that's why we're setting the answer to no in that case. 56, 57 is expanding our range for the next I. This is transitioning from basically I to I plus 1. We're saying if we could build the current fence in some interval low to high, that means the next fence will have a larger interval because of the constraints of they just have to share at least 1 unit, common side length of at least 1. That means they have to be within k minus 1 of each other. And then this is so that I don't overflow. Yeah, because low will never get to, because this if I do this n times, it will exceed the bounds of an integer. So I want to make sure that doesn't happen. This is a sliding window. This is, I wouldn't say it's a sliding window. It's a single pointer algorithm. One pointer, not 2 pointers. You can see it. The only pointer is I. A spoiler from chat. Second rule. Is that what I'm messing up on? I thought I covered that case, honestly, because that's what 52 does. It sets high to be low, to be hi plus 1. But maybe I messed it up. Aha. I need to do min of high with this. Is that what you're saying? That seems like the bug. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. LOLKEYER. Lolric. Okay. So that, I think, was my only bug, because I've been staring at this code for a while and I haven't found any others. Accepted. Alright, that's actually a kind of tricky bug. I don't know if I would have found that myself. So let's write a retrospective on that. So final time 10:25. So that's pretty bad. 2 wrong answers. Reason bug hi equals hi plus 1. What did I say for special case? I got this wrong in the planning phase. Should be hi equals min hi plus 1. So yeah, messed this up in planning. Why did I think that we didn't need to min? I probably didn't think very carefully about it. But yeah, it should have been a red flag that everything else was in terms of max and min or relatives, and then this one was just absolutely setting it. I was thinking like, oh, it's only going to get smaller from this operation, but I don't know why I thought that. So should have thought more clear-headedly, and should have stuck out as a problem because all other updates to min low high were relative, whereas this was absolute. Okay, that's some valuable lessons learned from this problem. I think we need to move on because I need to finish all the problems in time. If you're there for my previous stream, I had kind of a mad dash at the end to implement this last problem, and I did not complete it. So I'm going to try to move a bit faster this time. But feel free to interrupt if you have questions. NRJKLK in particular, if you are still, if you want to hear more about the difference between this algorithm and a sliding window, I'd be very happy to explain. So just let me know in chat. But yeah, seal divisions. Wow. So you can choose 2 indices to take the quotient in sealing. You want it to be a bunch of 1s and 1, 2. in at most n plus 5 steps. Is that always possible? Oh, because AI equals I in the beginning. Okay. Well, how do you do it? Let's think. So n plus 5 is not very generous. What is 5 here? It's not log. I guess log of n would be closer to like 17. So I'll write that down, because I think that's a non-trivial observation. It narrows down the kinds of solutions I should look into. So D is still divisions. So update op is 3x equals n plus 5 ops to make ones except for 1, 2. And n is 2, 5. Observation. Log n is 17, which is much larger than 5. So n plus log n, not feasible. So what happens to what happens to an? Needs to become 1 or 2 eventually. But it's really useful in the beginning for making ones. You can use that to turn things into ones. But eventually you have to turn it into a 2. Oh, I see what 5 is now. I get it. 5 is log star n. Where log star is number of times, oh, sorry, it's not log star, it's log log. Because what you do is square root n, do this, and we'll do seal, which means a sub x becomes at most a sub y. Cool. And what we've done is we've reduced the problem. Let's do x equals n. Do this op twice. Then 1. To reduce problem from n to square root n, we'll seal that. Do op x equals I, y equals n for all I equals between n and this one. Cool. So, yeah, this is the algorithm. We perform the operation on all the values between square root n and n. We set them all to 1 by dividing them out by the largest number. And then we set n to 1 by dividing it by its square root twice. And then we repeat the process on the remaining numbers, the numbers 1 through square root n. And then after 5 rounds, we'll be done, because log of n is 5. Are there any off by ones? The base case is when n equals 2. Continue until n equals 2, at which point there will be exactly n minus 1 equals 1 ones and 1 2. So yeah, this is a recurrence. So this is a recursive. So key idea, we formulated this as recursive, reducing the problem to a smaller subproblem. And the intuition behind that, it just, yeah, the way the problem is set up just kind of, it feels like you want to do it that way. And I don't really know how else to explain that. So implementation, we want to print a sequence of operations. So do something like while n greater than 2, vector guy, yes. So in our while loop, we'll compute, we'll call it next. Yeah, next equals square root n. And how do we compute square root n? Can just do while next times next, because n is quite small. Nice. So let's do a quick check that 200,000, we can make a sequence that's length at most 5. So what is the square root of this? This is 448. And then 22. And then 5. And then 3. And then 2. So yeah, we'll pay 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we'll be done. So it's actually tight. Sorry, it's not tight, because we never actually have to do any work on array elements 1 and 2. So we have 2 operations to spare. 2 ops to spare. In the worst case. All right. One thing we could do is just hard code the sequence. Should we just hard code the sequence? What do you guys think? I'm considering it. Yeah, let's hard code it. Yeah, let's hard code it. Okay. So hard code seq equals 38. Sorry, koala zub. What I meant by hard coding it is just hard coding the sequence of square root values. Because I do have confidence that I have the solution already. I'm just debating the best way to implement it. Maybe I should scroll up to repeat my solution strategy. But yeah, in general, your tip is actually a really good tip, which is just, if you're stuck, try to look for a pattern by just, printing a bunch of stuff out. But actually for this problem, I do have the solution in mind already. It's just reduce the problem from larger n to smaller n. And each time we reduce it, we're going to kind of pay one step of our 5 extra steps we have. We actually have 7 extra steps because we never have to operate on 1 and 2. But we're going to pay one step to go from n to square root n and set everything between square root n and n to 1. And you can do that pretty naturally. Divide everything by n and then divide n by square root n twice. That is the solution. And what I meant by hard coding is just hard coding the sequence of numbers, the key square root values, so that I don't have to compute the square roots in my code. And then just do so read n for I and seek. If I greater than n, continue. Is greater than or equal to n, continue. Else n equals I. Do all ops for I plus 1 through n minus 1. Do op for n twice. Set n equal I. Print yes. So yeah, this is the implementation strategy. Else do ops. Cool. This is the pseudocode, and we're gonna start typing it, and hopefully I'm not all talk and my solution actually does work. So let's find out. Let's find out if I'm correct or not. Okay. Class back. Cool. I'm gonna submit this. And I'm gonna cross my fingers. Pogs in the chat if this passes. F's in the chat otherwise. Accepted. Alright. Forgot to pause my clock. So that was a pretty good solve time for D. For problem D, usually I don't get it in 1 minute typing, but this was a pretty short program. I'm gonna give myself 10 seconds back. I probably don't deserve 10. I'll give myself 5 seconds back because I didn't pause until, a bit after I submitted. Just make myself feel a bit better about my times. But yeah, we can recap this problem just because I did go through it a bit fast. Key idea, reduce large problems into smaller subproblems. And the larger the reduction, the more efficient the overall program is going to be. Because we only solve this problem at most 5 times, basically. Like, there's only at most 5 problems that we work with. There's the original n problem, and there's each of these smaller subproblems. 4, 4, 8, 2, 2, 5, 3, 2. Cool. Why did I end up choosing to hard code it? It's just it's simpler. There's fewer lines of code, easier to think about. Let's move on to problem E. A bit similar. Oh, hey Mattos. Hi Steven. Right now I'm performing at 1900 to 2000 level on Codeforces. I've done 25 contests and virtuals in the last 3 weeks. That is a lot of virtual contests. Wow. Focusing on improvement. Do you have any advice for how I can make my training more effective? Oh, well, it sounds like you're definitely putting in the hours. That is like consistently averaging like 2+ hours a day. So that's really good. I think there's no way you don't improve. Even if your contest performance hasn't been improving, you are improving. That's one thing I'll say. Just like, it's very hard not to get better if you're putting in that many hours. Now, if you want to see, I guess, if you really want to optimize your training, given that you have, I guess, all these hours that you want to spend wisely, well, a lot of the common wisdom is to like, don't get stuck on problems. And problems that you can't solve, try to learn how to solve them by consulting resources. Like, read tutorials. Don't just like, I don't know, like, not be able to solve a problem and never find out how to solve it. Because then it's kind of like, great, you found a weakness of yours. By doing all this training, you discovered a weakness that you couldn't solve this problem in contest. The best way to move forward from that is to eventually solve it. And it's okay if you get a hint, read the editorial, talk to a friend, whatever. But that's where you learn, is when you make that process of going from not knowing how to solve it to knowing how to solve it. Is that muscling through? Yeah, maybe. You can like kind of drip feed yourself some hints if you really want the like go through as much of the process organically as possible. You can try to drip feed some like insights and hints. It helps to like have friends who can, you can say, hey, read this editorial and tell me what I'm missing or something. But oftentimes it's just a conceptual thing. Like, you're looking at the problem in the wrong way, or you just totally didn't think about this way of thinking about the problem. But yeah, that's my advice, is problems you don't know how to solve, try to really deeply understand why you don't know how to solve them. It might be, oh, I didn't think of this like trick. I'm not comfortable enough with this data structure, this application of this algorithm, and try to really like ingrain that in your head, that like, oh, in the past I didn't realize I could use binary search in this way or something. Now you know. Then it's like you can measure that improvement. It's like provably well, time well spent in a way. So yeah, that's my advice. I'm going to go back to reading this problem a bit similar. Let's call two strings similar, a bit similar, if there's at least one position where they're equal. Given a binary string and a k, Mattos, yeah, there's always a balance between like using editorial as a crutch for hard problems and wasting time banging against a wall. Yeah, different people have different tastes for this and different like tolerance, I guess, for banging their head. I think if you're stuck for like 10 to 20 minutes without like any progress at all, I think that's a good time to give up. Obviously, you don't have to give up if you feel like there's still like inklings of progress, but progress in the form of like, oh, I understand the problem better now than I did 10 minutes ago, then I think that's fine to keep going. My friend Scott, I think his rule of thumb is like 30 minutes and he gives up, but I might be misrepresenting his strategy. And Scott is like, you know, top 10 Codeforces, so I think he's generally, I think he can't go too wrong from listening to him. Yeah, and like the thing is, like, I don't think you need to think about it as using the editorial as a crutch. Like, when you're reading that editorial, it's not you read it and then you're like, okay, done, move on to the next problem. The learning and the growth happens after that. It's like when you think, okay, what are all the things that the editorial thought of that I didn't think of, basically. And for each one of those things, you really try to like reflect on that and understand the concepts at a deeper level, because that's probably why you didn't think of the solution. It's probably there's some concepts that you're vaguely familiar with, even pretty comfortable with, but there's still like a higher level of comfort and understanding that would have enabled you to see the solution that the editorial suggests. This also goes for problems that you are able to solve. There's oftentimes still a lot of value in reading the editorial solution. There might be like a more elegant way to phrase it, which will help you on harder problems. Even if it's not necessary to see the most elegant solution for some problems, it still helps to understand them. So yeah, I have no judgment from me if you read editorials. I'm an editorial kind of guy. I don't think there's anything bad about reading official solutions. You don't have to solve every problem yourself. Anyway, back to the problem. Denote string, yeah, beautiful, length k beautiful if it's similar to all substrings of S having length exactly k. Oh wow. Okay, so beautiful shares something with every substring of length k. And you want to find the lexicographically smallest beautiful string T, or report that no such string exists. Ooh, Jesus, that's okay. This kind of reminds me of Cantor's diagonalization. Like, there should always be a solution, right? Is there ever a no? You want to report that none exists? Is there ever a no? Oh, here's a no, okay. So I'm wrong about that hypothesis. There's a no for this case. Oh, of course. If k is small, then there might be like 0, 0, 0. There might be like every possible substring. Yeah, they might just have a string that contains all possible substrings of length 3, all 8 of them. And there's no way to there's no way to come up with a string that's beautiful with respect to such high standards. Because in particular, any string you can come up with, its complement, you will not share any bits with. Oh, in fact, let's write this down. String is beautiful if, or what it was called, two strings are a bit similar if they share at least one position are equal. Simplification. Two strings are a bit similar if they are not complements of each other. In other words, S is not equal to T. Yeah, Meadows. Always happy to give advice. Let me know if you have any other questions. Okay, so we made one insight about the nature of the problem. We've simplified this notion of similar to just mean, okay, two strings, as long as they're not literally complete opposites, they're going to be kind of similar. It's very deep. So what we want to do is, given n and k, we kind of want to check, is there at least one string that's not represented in all the substrings of length k? And if so, then we're done. So if k is large, we're good to go. So I think I've solved the problem. So to solve the problem, so this is observation 2. This is observation 1. Consider the set all substrings. Okay. If some string, let's call it x, is not an S, then is possible answer. Okay, give me a sec. I need to think a bit more actually. Because I forgot that you have to print, you actually have to find the lexicographically smallest string. So what I had in mind was like, if k is large enough, like if 2 to the k is larger than n minus k plus 1, then you're guaranteed to have an answer. But that's not enough. You have to find the answer. So I think what we're going to have to do is use hashing. So solution. Hash all substrings, length k. Store in some kind of set. Try all substrings in lexicographically increasing order until you find one whose complement is not in the set. Then you're done. That's the answer. So guaranteed to take at most, let's call this n. Well, I guess this is just, yeah, guaranteed to take n iterations. Because that's the size of the set. Great. And hashing and set lookups are pretty fast, like log n, whatever. N is 10 to the 6, you have 2 seconds, easy peasy. We don't even have to worry. We can use just a regular set. We don't have to mess around with unordered set. I don't know how the performance of that is. So let's talk about implementation notes. Goes 26, time limit, just 2 seconds. No need to mess around with unordered set. Hashing. I think the best thing to do here is use book code. So let me pull up some book code. I'm going to use my friend Eric's website for this because he has a really nice website for code search that I'm bookmarking. EKZlib. What a great site. So let's search for hash. Dynamic string hashing. I'll probably use this one. There's minus, plus. Does this do everything I need it to do? Probably not. I think I want dynamic string hashing. What is this? Oh no, this is just a BIT wrapping string hashing. Okay, I swear I have this somewhere. Maybe. Oh, okay, what is this? This seems useful. Dimensions. Oh. Okay, I think I'm gonna use this one. Yeah. I can read this real quick just to look at the analysis. But I think I found my book code. Dassin 21, what is this person's rating? That's all I want to know. If it's at least 2,500, yeah, I can trust this person's code. This looks like pretty nice code. I like it. So yeah, implementation, use this person's code. Dassin rated 26 plus. And yeah, what the code does, in case anyone is curious, is it allows you to, given a string, query for the hash of any substring. And that's all I need. And then I can cast the vector of ints into like a pair of ints. That's easy. And wow, bases is randomized for me. I don't even have to think about bases. That's perfect. I'll write some notes. This code allows arbitrary number of bases and generates bases randomly. Heart eyes. Allows querying substring in O1 or O2 time. I'll just call it O1 time. Okay. What else do I need? A bit similar. I need to be able to quickly. Lower bound was 2,500. What was your lower bound for trusting his code? Yeah, I think 2,500 plus rated. I'm gonna trust the code. A bit lower rated is fine too. I'll just read the code a bit more carefully. I think usually like anything like 2,000 plus is like good enough for me. I'm not very picky. And yeah, I still have to figure out how to like iterate in a efficient way. Like I have to be able to compute hashes of my lexicographically increasing, like as I iterate through all the strings. So how do I do that? I might have to look at this hashing logic a bit more. So it just does this. It's like polynomial. The later characters have lower place value. So to increment, I don't think I can just, I don't think I can just use the code in the form it exists currently. I might have to add a new, so yeah, need to add new method to the hashing struct to support concatenation, basically. So I'm thinking like hash a bunch of zeros plus like some string of length up to 20. And do this a million times. Am I in danger of TLE? I don't think so. Need to do O20 ops. So this shouldn't be too hard. I just have to, what do I have to do? That's just hash of this. times 20, what's it called, P D 20 plus hash of string. Okay, so I'll write this function. What do I call it? Concat, like hash string, and it returns hashes. It returns vector int. Okay, and then also have something that goes, have a function that goes vector int pi, and have a set pi, and a way to go from int to str complement to str. What am I using concat hash here? To iterate over all the candidate values, because you have to produce the answer here. Hey Hurdler1, thanks for stopping by again. Always nice to see you. Yeah, because I need to do that to actually produce the answer. But yeah, I don't have this fully scoped out, but I think I have it enough. So I think going from iterating over all the goal strings is going to be slightly annoying, because I can't always like set my length to 20. So set k equals, I'll call it min 20 comma n, or not k, but goal length equals min 20 comma k, and I'll call it pref len equals k minus goal len, and pref hash equals hash of 0 times pref len, and iterate from 0 to 1 shift goal len, do 2 stra of complement I. Complement I, this is 1 shift goal len, minus 1 minus I. Set comp equals this, and then we're going to do set comp hash equals concat pref hash comp. Neil, you have some string hashing code with concat, if that'd be helpful. Yeah, it probably would be, but I think I can handle that. I have this person's book code from Dason, and I already kind of read it, so I understand it enough to be able to implement concat here. Concat is generally not that hard, so thanks for the offer. But yeah, I think I have the answer. So if comp not in set, we are done. So let's name the set. Call it scene. Ants is 0 times pref len plus 2 str of I. So yeah, I need the helper function to pi. Have another helper to str. Okay. Let's do this. There's a lot of helpers, a lot of stuff. This code is going to get long, but I think that the reasoning, the theory is solid. So let's just see how we do. Okay, so we need goal len, it's min 20k, and pref len is k minus goal len, and pref hash equals hash of pref. Cool. Got that. Oh, this is gonna be Oh, I haven't even pasted in my book code yet, huh? Struct hashing. Okay, so PII get hash string s. Return hashing s dot get hash 0 n, and then return to PII. So PI to PI, vector into v. And yeah, I'm not using auto functions today because the book code is already a regular function. So get hash, and this is a PII, and then I'll do a PII concat of the PII pref and a string s, and then I need the n, I need the p, get hash, and then return. Okay, so static const get bases, so I need to do bases, vector int bases. Is that how you invoke a static const method? I think it is. Or do I need to do this? How do I invoke? S1 static instance. So it says I should use : Okay, cool. And then here I want pref0, pref1 plus p1, and times shift1, shift2, p0. Okay. Let me make this bigger for a sec. What did I do? Oh, because this should be .fi. Okay, and then I need to do mods, right? Long, oh my god. Okay, cool. So int mod 0 equals basis 0. Mod 1 equals basis 1. Shift 0 equals... Oh, wait. Mods and bases are different, right? Mod is always this thingy. So I'll call it mod. This is taking up a lot of time, but that's just because I don't have this book code yet. I probably should have accepted Neil's offer. Shift 0 is going to be, how did I do it? P. What is P? Is P static? It's not static. I'll just have to compute that separately then. P equals hash of s dot p. hashing of s. Okay. Almost done. So this would be p of 0 of n. And there's be p of 1 of n. Doesn't like it. Okay. Disgusting code, but I'm hoping I got that right. Let's take a break or let's stare at this a bit to make sure I'm doing it right. P, D, len. I want to shift by n because that's how long the string is. This gives me concat. I trust it. I trust it. Is this fast enough? As long as s is less than 20. Okay. I closed my notes. Okay, let's read what's next. I want this just regular. Cool. 2pi, 2str, I have all that. So I just have to do this iteration now. So for int I equals 0, I less than 1 shift. What is it? Goal len. This was I. Compla equals 2str and shift goal. And then minus 1 was I. Oh wow, compla is a keyword. Okay, but yeah. And then if this dot count, what is it called again? Scene hashes dot count compla hash. Oh, I haven't done this. So let's first do string, compla string, and then yeah, compla hash equals cat pref hash compla s. And then we haven't seen it yet. Then we're done. Break. Ants. How do they want the answer? It's a binary string. So this is just pref plus to string. To str. And I don't have to str yet, right? Cyanide222, hello, welcome to the stream. To str int k. Oh, and I have to provide a length too. And I want this to be in the correct order. So I'll just do it like that. If k not equals 0, plus equals 0. Okay, that's my toString function. Why doesn't it like toString? Oh, because I'm calling it incorrectly. So this is toString I, goal len, and I do that here too. Cool. That is not a detail I thought of earlier. Okay, I'm almost done now. I just need to compute scene hashes. So hashing s. And I can change and then for int I equals 0 plus k less than n plus I hash get hash I. Okay. TPI. And then scene hashes dot assert h. Bada boom. Get underscore hash. Finally, string ants equals no. And string ants s equals this. And finally, if ants equals yes, we'll print ants s. And then you're also going to print ants. Boom. I do not have the gall to just submit this without reading it first. So, NKS. Got the input format. Nice. Goal length is at most 20 and at least K. At most K. Yes. Because there's no point in iterating over long things. Okay. Pref line is the rest. Pref is a bunch of zeros. Yes. Aha. So then I try everything. Get to complement. Turn it into a string and check if it's in my scene hashes. If it's not, then we're done. Concat does all this stuff. Okay, so if it works on the samples, it's probably going to work in general. I've blind submitted every problem this contest. So I'm going to do it again, just because there's no harm. I'm not going to pass the samples if it's completely wrong. Oh, wow. I was so wrong about not passing the samples and that the samples would be represented. I'm failing on test 43. That's like the most unexpected result I've seen today. That sounds like a long overflow. Probably doing some bad multiplication. Yeah, where is that happening? I don't know. What am I doing wrong? I got the wrong answer on test 43 without ever compiling it. This is like, that is not how blind submits usually go. It's usually compilation error, especially for me. Yeah, I think it's just bad luck, you know. Maybe if I try again with a new seed, it'll pass. No, yeah, this is very surprising. So I'm gonna do something a bit cheeky here and set goal length to 2 and see if I still pass the last 2 cases. I don't. So that's suspicious. It means my concat logic is wrong. So what's going on here? Oh, pref hash needs to be complement of pref hash. That is something I totally missed in my planning, but I'm glad I caught it with only one wrong submit. Yeah, wow. It's wild. Okay. You want my GitHub? Yeah, I'm passing those 2 cases. Let's set it back to 20 now. And resubmit. So this should pass, I think. We'll see. But that was a big logical error that I'm surprised took 43 tests to fail. But, you know, I guess they had a lot of weak tests in the beginning, but they still had a lot of hard tests too. Running on test 110, that should be a pass. Let's stop the clock and write a retrospective. Oh, what? Time limit exceeded, is that? Oh, I literally wrote in my notes that that was not a concern. And voila. look at what we have here. Oops. I wrote that the time limit was very generous. I thought that would make it true. Unfortunately, that was not enough to pass all the tests. It's because the vectors are vectors and not pairs. So I shouldn't have used this book code. The guy wrote an analysis. Dason. Oh, this blog post is all about math. It's not about performance. Why didn't I think harder about this? Yeah, Neil, you're completely right. I'm making 1 million small vectors and putting 1 million pairs into a set. It's really the vectors. I know it's the vectors. I'm gonna change this to pair. Or where do I need the vector? It's only over here that this needs to be vectors, right? And res.pass back. Yeah, right. Let's hash. Else res.s equals hash. Oh, and I had dimensions equals 4. What am I doing? I forgot to change dimensions from 4 to 2. This is PII. What am I doing? So I don't need 2 PII anymore. Okay. So array int2 is yeah, non-resizable array, huh? That's probably what my book code should say. But this is what I get for not maintaining a book. My own. I try to like just scrape together random resources online and live off of other people's books. Yeah, but from now on, I will have a legitimate book. So let's write this in my notes. I blame this mostly on, okay, so total time. I'll just give it 17 minutes, approximately. Alright, total code time. Yeah. With 1 wrong answer, 1 TL. So, retrospective, wrong answer because I took hash of zeros instead of hash of 1. Big, I guess, oversight? I don't know what to call this. Like, why did I do that? It's just confusion. Didn't think clearly about this part. Should have slowed down. I definitely remember saying that this part was complicated, so I should have spent a bit more time double checking. So that was rushing. Shouldn't have rushed. Mistake happened in planning. No. So at least the mistake happened in planning. That means my coding, if you view coding as a translation of my plan to code, that part is working great. Like, I'm totally able to do that. Oh, except for the second part, which is time limit exceeded. That part did not go as well as planned. TLE because I used book code that relied heavily on vectors. Vectors are very non-performant in this case because of their fixed, like, initialization overhead. Vector int of size 2 equals very slow code. Even then, even after removing this, my runtime was 1591. So not amazing. Why was I so confident that time limit wouldn't be an issue? Like 1591, I wouldn't have bet on this passing even after taking out the vector. Because yeah, 1 million operations is a lot. I could have done less string stuff, but then code gets uglier. Could have done more intelligent hashing of binary numbers via updates. Makes it O-then instead of O-then login to iterate over. Locator, your implementation, for me the implementation was easier with just converting the substrings with no bits to log n to ints. Oh, Neil Wu, you might want to check out my submission. You did it without any hashing. Yeah, you have my wait, how do I click this? Oh, I can't read your submission because I'm in a virtual contest. But in 8 minutes I'll be done. Speaking of which, problem F. I'm not gonna solve this in 8 minutes, am I? Well, let's read it anyway. I'll check out your code, Neil, after this problem. So each vertex is white or black, white root vertex. All chains, only white initially. Dude, this problem statement is so long, but you basically have lengths. You're given lengths, and then you have to connect it into a tree. It's a binary tree, right? Is that what it means? It's a bit more than just a binary tree. Nah, it is just a binary tree. Yeah, it's basically a binary tree, and then you want to minimize the value of the tree. The value of the tree is the distance between the root and the kth closest white vertex. What? I can't conceptualize this problem, but it sounds like it's an easy problem to code once you solve it, but I have no idea how to solve it. Let's write some notes. F, find minimum value of tree. Binary search? Oh, Neil, I understand your solution now. It's, you don't actually maintain a set of so many things, because you can really filter down the substrings of length k. Like, the ones that are going to matter are the ones that have ones in the beginning. I see. That makes a lot of sense. And then you also get to just directly convert it to an integer. You don't need to deal with hashing because there's only 20 bits that matter. Yeah, that's much simpler than hashing. I guess I should have thought a bit more. Like, I had enough observations to come up with a solution, and I didn't take the step of looking for just one more simplification that would have made the code a lot simpler. So I kind of jumped the gun a bit in my implementation. In my defense, though, like, if I had hashing code, it would have been pretty straightforward to code. But no, I should have looked for the third simplification. Oh, you don't have to use all the chains. So is there ever a reason to not, when you're connecting a chain to the tree, to not connect at the middle? I don't think so, because there's just no reason. Oh, what am I? Oh my god. Is this. What am I looking at here? Why is test 1 2? These are black. Dude, are you serious? Is dark mode? It is. It's. No, this is an image. Right? There's no way that this is dark mode messing. It actually is dark mode? Is that what? Oh, because dark mode just inverts everything, right? Oh my god, I can't believe. Can you guys believe this? That dark mode is making these diagrams inverted. That is actually wild. I need to have a word with the author of this style. Okay, but this is the actual diagram without the inversion. Sorry, this is the actual diagram. So the black nodes, yeah, you don't want to look at the black nodes. You're taking the second white node, and here you're taking the third white node, which is distance 1, 2, 3. Here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 white nodes. We want the fifth one, which is at level 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Rip. The inverted color palette is nicer because, you know, white has an outline, black does not have an outline. It was designed for a light background, but our background is dark, so yeah. F. What a way to get wrong answer is using dark mode and getting confused. I don't think I'm going to solve this problem in the next 1 minute, but I'll think about it. Let's see our standings. Am I in the top 100 as I hoped? Probably not. I did not go very fast. I'm in the top 209. Yeah. Commentary while solving is actually quite a significant handicap now that I think about it. But anyway, let's try to think about this problem a bit. Is there ever a reason to use a longer chain below a shorter chain? Don't think so. So, no reason to use longer chain after shorter chain. So you can kind of just greedily build your tree from that. Like, I could probably code this up, you know. I do have this. I do have all the necessary observations. I just don't have any time. But I have the 2 observations that solve this problem. Middle of the chain, that reduces 1 parameter. and then longer chain, and then the final observation is just maintain list. Okay, actually I don't have a final observation. No, maintain head of queue of counts of how many white nodes at each level of tree. Plus bin search, maybe. Count of yeah, I have the solution. Yeah, F in chat because solving problem F. That is right. You're solving F. And then the actual way to maintain this, I think you'd want to use. Oof. I don't know. You could just maintain a difference array. You don't actually ever need to use something as powerful as a set tree here, right? Yeah, I don't think you actually need a set tree here. You can just maintain this as a difference array. So could use set tree, but difference array suffices. I guess it's difference array plus count of total sum. So yeah, we're indirectly representing the array that we seek to maintain using a data structure. So this is something you should be familiar with if you've used any data structure before, like a segment tree. And this indirection, we were able to do this because we need to efficiently handle updates to the array. Updates come in the form of range updates, in either incrementing or decrementing a range. And we need to be able to query only two things about this: sequentially iterating over from left to right, be able to query an element at a given position, which is guaranteed to be one greater than the previous position that was queried. So that's why difference array makes sense. You just take the previous value, add the difference, which you actually store in memory. And then the other query you have to make is what is the sum of all the elements in your virtualized array. That is something you can track, because as you increment ranges, like if you increment a range of length L, you increment your sum by L. So like, that's why the data structure works. And then using the data structure, that's just combining all the observations we have. We're always going to greedily connect the largest chain. Well, after like accounting for the fact that we're binary searching on an answer, we connect the largest chain to the first node, the highest white node. Then we remove that white node because it's no longer white. Then we add a bunch of white nodes at levels like I plus 2. Yeah, I plus 2. So this is actually plus 2. Because, yeah, as you can see from the diagram, initially there is, this is inverted. Initially there is one white node, this black one, and then that's at level 0, and then you add one at level 2 and add one at level 2. So yeah, I'll code this up just because I feel like I have the code in my head already. So what is A and B are what V I minus 1 over 2. And then this is actually going to be L plus 2 through, and let's do this half open ranges, 2 plus A. Yeah, and then that's it. So to implement inc lr ++ diff by val oh yeah, go ahead, that'd be fun. Let's race. Where do we decrement? Is it just diff r? It's r minus 1, right? Because r is the one that doesn't get incremented. And then sum plus r minus l times val. But first, we need to clamp. First clamp r to min of r and s plus 1, because that's how it works. And then L equals max min, clamp both of them downwards. Oh yeah, Gregor, I didn't see your question. Yeah, the list of problems I'm solving, I'm doing educational Codeforces round 101, and I'm on problem F right now. And it would be very fun if, yeah, we had people from chat trying to solve problems at the same time. Feel free to use the solution I outlined or use your own. I think both would be interesting. So yeah, let's separate this into lines. It's my pseudocode for my helper function of inc. And then I have to be able to what is it that I have to do again? Track L. Is that what I'm going to call it? I guess so. It's kind of confusing, but whatever. Let's call it cur equals 0, while cur val 0, or equals 0, I guess. Yeah, that's how you consume the difference array. And if sum is ever greater than k, return true. Okay, let's code it. A.cpp. Let's actually full screen this. Cyanide, if you solve faster, Steven will do a 1v1 lockout. Oh my god. If you solve faster, then why should I expect to beat you in a 1v1 lockout? It just means I'll lose again, right? Okay, let's just start coding this. Okay, let's do this. Check. Okay, so you want to print a minimum value, so that's why we're doing this. No, this. Okay. Interest number going to be 0, but it doesn't hurt to put that there. And auto inc equals int L, int R, int val goes to dl plus equals val, dr minus 1 minus val. Oh, it's L minus 1. Of course. And then what else is there? Sum. Why is this not happening? Okay, so I foresee a potential issue here, which is when you split the initial node, we're going to try to decrement this. So let's do this, just to be safe. And we still need to do clamping, so clamp min r comma ans plus 1 just min r to make sure we don't actually mess up our sum. Luan El Aquino, what is Bandamalejo? No clue. I've never heard of that. Oh, my face is gone. It's back. Okay. That's my inc. What else do I need? Data structure, got it. Cur, got it. Okay, sum. Okay, let's do it now. So, let's put this down here. And while let's sort these in descending order. And then while curval plus 0, curval plus equals D. Okay. Cool. And we also have to check if tote is ever greater than ants return true. Because that's our win condition. Okay, sorry. Yeah. Okay, and we'll initialize some to 1 because there's a white node. So we might as well just initialize lower 1. Because we know that 1 is always going to be... No, 0 is always going to be okay. No, that's not true at all. Anyway, if low is equal to 0, is answer allowed to be 0? Oh dear. I don't like it. I don't like it when low is allowed to be -1. If mid equals high, minus mid. Okay, cool. Let's put that here as well. So now we have to update. Inc cur plus 1 minus 1. Inc cur plus 2 is A 1. B. Return false. Return. Alright, I'm kind of confused. My head is not as clear-headed as ideal. It's cat is that slash main. See if at least I pass the samples. I don't. So I'm printing out 1 when I should be printing out 2, which means check of 1 is returning true for some reason. No. Is that what it means? Yeah, check of 1 is somehow returning true, which is bad. I have a chain of length 3, which means it should be like let's print out when I'm incrementing. Oh, n is too small. That's for 1. N should be just very large. Where am I using n? My difference array should not be n. 25? Oh, I don't know. What's the maximum answer? Yeah, GGG is just my compiling. It's just G++ with all the flags. I haven't thought about the maximum answer. When would I need a very large number of answer? I can't think of many cases. I'll just do 1e8. 1e7. Okay. I'm not gonna need 1e7. Nah. Yeah. 27. Oh no, I'm printing that out, aren't I? One, two, nine. Oh, yeah. Still printing out 1. Wait, I'm not printing out anything. Oh, because my sum greater than or equal to k. What is k? K is 2, because sum is 1. This will never be true. It's not break. It's false. Okay, let's back up a bit. Load. High mode. Oh, my high needs to be max D. That explains it. Okay. Two. Okay, let's stop printing out low high. And run on the second case. 2. That's wrong. And it's because something is going wrong. My sum is negative. That should not even be allowed. So let's just check 3 and then return. Check 3 and then return. Okay. So initially sum is 0. That's weird. Oh no, that's fine. 2, 3, 1. Why is it doing 2, 3, 1? Because I have 4, right? So that's, yeah, 1 and 2. It's fine by me. Oh wait, but I want to be checking 2. Somehow it's thinking 2 is possible when it's clearly not possible. Paste in input. Yeah, it thinks that sum becomes 3. Okay, why is the sum only 2 here? Oh, that makes sense. Never mind. Yeah, I think it's my clamping that's the issue here. So what is going on here? R is min ants plus 1. Angered gecko, hello. I see. So I need to check here if L is less than or equal to curve. I'll do that in here. Minus curve out. That's better. Okay. Now back to printing out the answer. 3. That is more like it. Oops. And then 4. There we go. 4, and then minus 1, please. Just minus 1. Well, that is, you know, totally unnecessary, but if low equals max, D low equals max. Let's submit this and cross our fingers. I don't want to think about checking this for bugs. even though I should. Okay, fine, I'll think about it. I'll think about it. Alright, this is just so much code. This is 100 lines of code. Oh, I still have my hashing code here. Okay. This line 78 starts 136. That's 60 lines of code. That's too much code to think about. But I trust the author. If we pass, then I'll read this. Oh no, I didn't pass. Greg R., you were stuck. I was stuck with the segment tree question.edu for a while. Can I help you with it? You know, if I pass this problem, I'll be happy to take a look. Yeah. I don't know what my bug is. I imagine it is very interesting. I imagine that my bug is very non-trivial. Maybe I need a +1 here? Who knows? Who knows? I don't think I do. I don't think I need this +1. I don't need this line. Oh, I do need this line. I'm doubting my overall algorithm now of replacing the topmost node. That is tragic. Okay, I thought about it, and there's no way this code is wrong. So maybe the Drudge solution is just wrong. You know? Maybe. It's floating the idea. Kirk, Nancy, yeah. This is all right. This is all correct. Do I need longs anywhere? Why would I need long? Tell me, why would I need long here? My integer that matters is sum. My sum changes by 1e5 term. 1e7. 1e5. I don't know. It changes by 1e5. So it won't overflow, because if it gets big enough, I'll return. So I don't need longs. Max D is 1e7. Why is that enough? Probably is enough, but I don't know what else could be going wrong. Why would the answer be so large? That just doesn't make sense. Yeah, the answer should be bounded by like n log n. So that leaves me with no choice but to cheat. Let's see what test I'm getting wrong. Oh, this theme is very hard to read. Expect 6, found 5. Wow, is that so? I'm too optimistic. Gregor, can you create the notes of every question you solve? Yeah, I have the notes. I can post them on GitHub. Though, you know, I don't know if these notes are that high quality. Like, you're better off reading the editorial. But sure. Here are notes. I'll just like I'll remember to put on my YouTube when I upload this to YouTube. Let's just run this test case. No, yeah, my notes aren't really intended to be like super high quality, but I'm glad you guys like them. Thank you. Okay, so I'm running on this test case that I'm failing on. It says my sum is 22 or 20 here. That just doesn't seem right because my R is too big. Why? So let's add some print statements here. Oops. Curve out I, 9, starts with 9, okay. It increments 0, 1, negative 1, 2, 6, 1, 2, 6, 1, sum is 8. It means we have 8 white nodes after, means we have layer 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's fine. Curve out is 1, 0, 8. That looks wrong. That looks wrong. Why does it think? Something's wrong. Something's wrong. So let's print out D at every step. Conjure Rub. Which contest is it? This is round 101, educational round 101. And I'm working on problem F right now. Yeah, so this is weird because I don't remember ever incrementing this. Oh, is that... Is that really what happened? Is that what's happening? Curve val minus minus. I decremented this. Then I'm incrementing the next I should be incrementing the next. I see. So I need to initialize my D properly. D of 0 needs to be -1. That's my bug. D0 needs to be -1. So let's make this back to 187. Yeah, so my data structure was a bit too complicated for me to handle, and I don't need to print out this entire array. And let's resubmit this now that I'm printing out the right answer for this case I'm failing. And I'm expecting this to pass. Yeah. I think I fixed my bug. My bug was, remember how I was doing this data structure? And I forgot to say that I'm initializing array 0 to 1. I did this incorrectly. I forgot to track D0 equals -1. Instead, had it as D0 equals 0. So yeah, that was my bug. It took me 10 minutes to find the bug, right? Took me a while to implement this overall problem. This took me like near an hour to solve this problem. So I'll mark that as total time. I'll just look at the delta here, so 50 minutes. I'll give myself 30 minutes because I spent 20 minutes planning. And wrong answer test 5, cheated 2. Peaked at test data. So yeah, what could have I done? What could have I done to avoid this? Honestly, if I thought more clear-headedly about my initialization here with curval equals 0, I could have done better. I think the way I did curval was sketchy. So retrospective. Curval state management in tandem with enc/d stuff is sketchy. Need to be very careful here and plan it out ahead of time. Because yeah, this state management, like, it's clearly like possible, but the logic can get complex. Like more complex as in like maybe instead of one line it's 2 lines, but like you have to remember both those lines. So that's why I had this implementation bug. So yeah, reviewing my performance today, I got a lot of red, 2 wrong submits on C, no wrong submits on D, no wrong submits on A or B. So that's, you know, improvement from last time where I think I had wrong submissions on every problem. But yeah, overall, a lot of careless mistakes. What are my learnings from D? Problem D was, D was the one I didn't have any errors on. E was the retrospective. It's, yeah, I overcomplicated the solution for one. Let's note that. Also overcomplicated. Could have used the observation that first len chars must be 1 for a substring to matter. Yeah, Bulbous Smollett, I changed my terminal colors to be dark at the request of someone in chat. I might change it back next stream. I don't know. I'll think about it. And yeah, my retrospective is basically, I did all right on problem D and A and B. Problem E did not go super well. It took me 17 minutes to type this up. What in my code ended up being like pretty short. The reason it took 17 minutes is because I had a bug that I could not find until the end. There are 2 bugs. One bug was that I was using vector everywhere. In particular, get hash was returning vector. Vectors are really slow. I learned my lesson now. Just gotta watch out for that when running performance sensitive code. The other bug was just logical error, straight up like incorrect code, was I was doing the hash of the prefix, whereas I want the hash of the complement of the prefix. I know that now. For some reason, I didn't register that that was a detail I had to pay attention to. And I just like kind of wrote the wrong code. That's a logical error. It's an easy mistake to make. I wouldn't be surprised if other people made similar bugs that were also caught by pretests. And yeah, if I had spent more time thinking about it during the planning phase, that would have gone better. So yeah, overall, I'm finding that because I'm streaming, I tend to miss things more often. I tend to miss things more often in the planning stage. So I should just be aware of that and be more careful. Uptime. This is 3 hours into stream. I don't have any bots, so I'll just answer these myself. Greg R, yeah, I can take a look at this problem, and then I'll probably sign off for the day. So let's see. I haven't heard of courses yet, but do I have to enroll? Let's see what happens. Let me read this for a sec. Wait a sec. I don't think I'm allowed to help you on this. It says by registering for this course, you confirm that you will not in any way distribute solutions. So, yeah, sorry. I don't think I'm allowed to help you, Gregor. No solutions. Idea is allowed. I mean, I'll read the problem on stream, but I'm kind of concerned that I might be breaking some rules here. You can see in comments. Anyway, yeah, let me read this problem. Number inversions on a segment, change element of the array. Yeah. So I guess I can give hints. Yi is always small. So this is like a 2D range tree problem. Actually, I don't know how to solve this. Number of inversions on a segment. How do you solve that? I have to think of it. So I think one thing you can do is try to answer the question, how many inversions are there total in the entire array? That's my hint. Because every inversion is either in your subsegment or not, and it turns out if it's not in your segment, you can count that pretty straightforwardly, I think. Yeah, you want to make use of the fact that your numbers are all very small. So like you can characterize all the segments or all the inversions pretty easily, I think. But this is an annoying problem to implement, honestly. This is just a segment tree problem, it says. Yeah, I don't have a great way to solve it, but you basically want to be able to track number of inversions on an array, add them together, and then compute inversions like between arrays. So I can see why you might want to use a segment tree for that. Not an easy problem. But yeah, that's it from me for today. I'm probably gonna stream again sometime in the next few days, and I'll try to settle into like a more consistent schedule just so that people know when I'm going to be online. I posted a blog in case anyone is curious. Oh, cool, got some comments. I should also post on my blog kind of questions for what time is best for people. What extension do I have, Joshi? It's in the VOD. If you want to watch after the stream ends, you'll see how I set it up. But short story is I use Stylish, and then I have an installed theme for this website for Codeforces. It's not loading. But yeah, I just Googled Stylish something something. I'm not using Dark Reader now. I disabled Dark Reader. And I have to edit the style myself because of the winter background. But no, yeah, let's see. A lot of people like combinatorics. I'll probably do combinatorics. ICPC. Cool. Good night, everyone. Hey, Sneak Toggled. Sorry, I'm actually just wrapping up here. I was about to sign off. Welcome to the stream. Hope to catch you next time. I plan to do streams pretty regularly. But yeah. Leave a comment on my blog or on my YouTube channel if you have any requests. I love requests. It helps me know what people want to see. Joshi, what books do you recommend to learn math? I learned math from Art of Problem Solving. Volume 1, Volume 2. Those are good books to learn competitive math. All right. Signing off now. Good night, everyone. See you next time.